Hey, those travel speeds look good, Gianna. The fog that I'm tracking in Santa Rosa, that centers out at the Sonoma County Airport, which is a little removed off of the main throughways there. So it's good to see the traffic's moving just fine. But if you've got to get off of those, just be aware, the more rural you get, you're likely going to hit some fog up there. Live look from the top of Mark Hopkins looking off towards the east. You can see the mid-level clouds that have filled in the bay. This is kind of more like a typical almost summer pattern where we're seeing the mid-level clouds fill in the bay this morning and the East Bay valleys. But it's not fog on the roadway for most of those locations, and it's relatively warm. We're in the 40s for most locations in the heart of the bay. Livermore, we've got you to 40 now, but it is a cold 38 in Concord. And of course, up in the North Bay valleys, we're in the mid-30s, where yes, the visibility sensors are still reporting some fog up there for Santa Rosa. Daytime highs today will go to the low 60s with more blue sky for the first half of today before higher clouds start to show up again for the second half of the day. And that should be about it. If we wanted to take a look at the big picture and get an idea on what happened to the storms, you really start to see an impressive visual on why we haven't gotten rain for the entire month so far, and why now looking forward, we can say with pretty good confidence, we're not going to be getting any rain for the rest of this month. Here's the way this plays out. Long-range forecast shows you the storms pretty much going up and over us. See the pattern they're doing there? Storms come in this way and then take that big arcing loop over California and this big patch in the Pacific. The reason it's doing that shows up when you look at the atmosphere this way. It shows you where the difference in pressure is. Big bullseye of deep red right off the coast of California shows you an area of strong high pressure which develops even more intensely as we go through later in the week. And this is a classic example of two extremes right next to one another. But the one that matters to us most is that one, obviously, because that's really what steers the storm track. Everything's got to go up and over that. And if we just look at where it's going to rain, as a result, from now all the way through the end of January, we're going to color in the map with the accumulated rainfall. And now that story really looks pretty dramatic. Plenty of rain out there in the Pacific where the storm track is. You can follow the path of all the storms as they go north and just keep dropping everything up here. And then they arc over California, and it rains and snows for the midsection of the country. And meanwhile here, we stay in the donut hole, where there's nothing. This is how we typically get into our long periods that are rain-free and relatively warmer than average. When you get one of those big blocking ridges of high pressure off the coast of California, it's not unheard of to have this happen in the winter here for a prolonged period of time, but we need that ridge to break down as we go into February, certainly February into March, because we still have some making up to do. We did great in October and December, but the rainfall that we got so far is not enough if that's all we're going to get, if we're going to make a meaningful impact on the drought. It has to come back for February and March. And right now, for January, it's not. Good looking 7-day. We're going to warm up into the upper 60s by the time we get to Friday.